I recently read a blog post by Lindie Botes called "Should You Take a Language Test?", which is what inspired this video, and I'll link to that blog post down below. Her post focused more on other things you can do besides taking an official language test to show your language skills. However, if you're interested in taking a language test, I want to talk about the pros and cons of taking a test and what kinds of tests you should take based on your language goals. But first, for more language-related content, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon to be notified when I post a new video. First, let's start off with the pros, and I have my notes here so I don't forget anything. A major pro of taking a language test is it measures your proficiency. So if you're not sure where you are, or you think you might be at one level but you just want to double check, then taking a language test is definitely the right way to go, because there are professionals who are trained in knowing what your level is after you've taken that test. Another pro, which is a big one for me, is it can be motivational. I know that if I have a test coming up, I'm probably going to be studying for something a lot harder than I would if there was no end goal in sight. So for me, I'm taking the JLPT this year, and that's really helped me stay on track with studying so far. And it might be the same for you. Maybe you need something like a test looming over you so that you feel motivated to study and really reach those goals that you have for yourself. And a third pro is it creates job opportunities. There are some countries that require you to take certain tests showing that you're at a certain level in a language before you can move to that country or have that job. Or even if you're planning on having a job within your own country, depending on what it is, you might also have to take a language test. So it's definitely good for job opportunities and educational ones. Some universities want you to pass a certain level of a language test before you're admitted into their program if it's language related. Now, of course, along with pros, there are definitely some cons. Some tests can be very expensive. Not all tests are expensive, but I know a few that are over $100, and if it's not something that you need, you might not feel like it's worth paying the price. Kind of going along with that one, the second con is it's not always necessary. Unless you're taking a test in order to get a job or for your education, there's really not a need to take a language test. And finally, which I think is the most important con, is depending on the test, it might not be measuring the proficiency that you're most focused on. And I'll talk a bit more about that later on when I go over choosing the right test to take. Let me know in the comments down below what other pros and cons you can think of to taking a language test. So when it comes to language tests, there are a lot. There's the JLPT, DELF, DELE, TOPIC, and a lot more. But they don't all measure the same thing. Some measure reading and listening, some add in a writing section to that, and fewer also include a speaking portion. Up until recently, like I mentioned before, I was planning on taking the JLPT as a way to motivate myself to continue studying Japanese. However, the biggest thing I want to work on is improving my speaking skills in Japanese. The JLPT doesn't test for that. Am I still going to take the JLPT? Yes. I want to at least take it one time, and I'll probably take it more than that. However, if you want to take the JLPT or any other test, there are 3 things you should think about. What are your goals? What is the test testing? And how will it benefit you? If your goal is to improve your speaking, then a test like TOPIC or the JLPT might not be for you. However, if you still want to take a test that doesn't measure a skill that you're looking for, then just make sure that while you're studying for that test, you're also including practice of some of those other skills it's not measuring. That way you're still on track to meet your goals. For me, even though I know the JLPT isn't going to measure my speaking skills, I'm still going to take it, and as I'm studying for the JLPT, I'm also making sure to get in some speaking practice as well, or else I'll pass the JLPT, but I still won't be much closer to reaching my goals of being proficient orally. One test that I really like is the OPI, or Oral Proficiency Interview. If you're someone that's looking to test your speaking skills, then taking the OPI is great because it's offered in so many languages. It is kind of expensive, which is one of the cons I was talking about, but maybe the OPI can motivate you into really practicing and getting out there and improving your speaking skills. Then you can get officially tested by someone, and then you'll know what level your speaking is at. If you like this video, let me know by hitting that like button and leaving a comment down below. Thanks for watching.